Hey, welcome to my old boot rescue session. Now I know that I know there must be millions of people out there who are fascinated by the idea of restoring a pair of old boots. No, it's nobody you know. Okay, for those Brits that are listening in, who have their own interpretation of what an old boot is. But anyway, I know you probably wouldn't believe it, but I got married in these boots. Look, but they've been sitting, as you can see, they've been ignored and left to rot. But of course, they're good solid leather, and so I decided that as a little project, I would use the old method which I learned in the armed forces of how to take all of the not the imperfections, but all of the rough bits out of boots, so that you can, in army terms, you can bull them. You can bull them up. They called it in the British Army. They call it bulling, and of course I'm not going to do that, but I will attempt to use the old traditional method, which is, here we go. You get one of these little, my mother used to call these night lights, and she would put them into a bowl like that with some water, so if they got knocked over they'd put themselves out, and a spoon, and you take the spoon and you heat it up like this, and there's an ant running up and down that spoon, wondering how the hell it's going to get out of this mess. Well, anyway, so what I've done with this is I've actually done a little bit of work on it, and the way that you do that is by using this, and you go over it while it's still hot. So you're striking while the spoon is hot. Now I remember the mindless discipline. It was mindless for me anyway. That was in the army. I went in the army when I was 15 and a half. I guess the job that I was about to start was in the coal mines. I'd been to a coal mine, a training coal mine, a training pit as they would call it. I'd been to a training pit, and I'd done my training as a coal miner, in which you learn how it all works, and you learn first aid so that you can help if someone gets injured. But of course, when you're 15, you don't think about whether you're going to be injured. And then when you start to look at the guys who are the instructors, and the instructors are experienced old colliers who have retired from actually trying to get coal from the coal face in what is actually dangerous conditions, and they would have scars. They'd have missing limbs, thumbs, some the worst will be a thumb, because if you haven't got your opposing thumb, well, you can't hold anything up like that, can you? So you need your opposable thumb, and you would see them, but more often they would have lost a finger. This was the one. So even if they went to America, they've still got this finger, so they can still drive. So I've actually been over this, and I've gone over, heat the spoon up again, and then come down, and because it's hot, it will smooth down all of those bumps on the boot. And this I know that this is not, it's not a huge improvement, well, it is to my eye, because I know what it was like before. But let me show you what it was like before. It was like this. Look. See, so my reasoning on trying to do something with them before I have them repaired is because the little old shoemaker, no, he's not a shoemaker, he's a shoe repairer, and if I took the boots in looking like that, he would refuse to do them. It would be an insult to his craft. See, so what I'll do is I'll pack this with paper like I've done there to bring back a little bit of the shape and flatten that out like that. I don't know whether he can actually do anything with them, but as I say, you won't believe it, but I actually got married in these boots. Since then they have been sadly neglected, but I wore these a lot, and actually I thought that they were genuine kind of not lumberjack boots, but you know what I mean, where they were outdoor and they were a good walking boot. They were a good walking boot. They were very comfortable. When I got these, I did what some of the outdoor people, outdoor hikers and stuff like that, what they say you should do. And I put the boots on with a pair of good thick socks. I put them on, lace them up comfortably, not tight, but certainly to fit properly, right? And then I put my feet with the boot into water, and I kept my feet in the water until the boots were totally saturated. And I did that in the morning, and I walked in the boot soaking wet, and I kept them on the whole day until by the end of the day the heat of my feet had actually dried the boot. The idea being that if you do that, you have a boot that actually fits you. And I did that with these boots, and they worked out pretty well. You can, even through the crap, you can actually see that that was a good boot at one time. But now, if you could run your hand over these, you'd see that this is very rough. So you'd never be able to get a shine on these until you've taken that roughness out. So this gives you an idea. If I get you a little bit closer, you see. Now this I've already done, and it is fairly smooth. It's smooth enough for me to take boot polish and to fill in the cracks with the boot polish and water, and you do it with the rag on the end of the finger, and gradually you will be able to restore the good looks of the leather. That's how I would do it. I did actually stumble. I never watched the whole thing and always intended to go back, but you know what it's like on YouTube. You see something, you say, my God, that's interesting. I'll go back and look at that another time, and then you can never find your way back in there because you went from one to another, to this and to that, and you never find it. But this boot now is smooth enough for me to start using polish on it. Now, here's where we come up against the first obstacle, and that is that when I went to Alturas today, they only have black shoe polish. So what am I going to do? I'll have to find some other thing that I can use. And what I did try was this. Is that what I did? Perfect for matte and glossy finish. Rain or shine protection, revives plastic, rubber and leather. So here we are. Non-greasy formula. So I'm going to try and do that and see if it soaks in to the leather and maybe I'll be able to find a leather dye so that I can give them a nice healthy brown look. If you look at the tongue, and here's this was my disappointment when when I bought these on eBay. You remember eBay? So I bought these about 10 years ago on eBay, and the first disappointment, I was expecting to see that they were genuine, made in the USA, for someone to wear in the Klondike or something. But this is what I saw when I got it. Can you see there at the bottom? If not, I'll read it to you. It says size 9M, style WK908. Then it says gender men's, leather upper, balance man-made, whatever that means. And then at the bottom it says made in China. So much for my genuine outdoors men's hiking American boots. It never happened, but we will continue to treat them as if they're genuine. We certainly put some time in together, and that's what I thought that I would do. So I will be showing you, I think what I'm going to do for the maximum effect is I will clean this up and see if I can find a brown leather polish, and I'll do one boot first, and then I will show you the comparison between the new one or the newly made and the old, which is this sorry looking thing on here. That's the right foot. Sorry about that. I'll be back and show you what I've done. Bye for now.